Today I'm going to be talking about mini quads. This is a deformation 130 and this is my Blade 150. Well, the only problem with these is that they are a little difficult to build because you don't have a lot of real estate inside here. Now, how do you solve that problem? Well, you pick up one of these. This is the Tarot 130 and this comes in a 120, 130, and 150 flavor, but this is the 130 flavor. And it looks kind of like this. And I think this uses the 1104 motors, but we'll take a look at this. Here inside it comes with a set of props, actually two sets of props. It says 3020 by 4, and I'm not really sure what the by 4 means because there's 8 props in here and they are not 4-blade, but the 3020 props comes with some instructions in case you have to take it apart or do some repair on it. It has instructions on how the quadcopter is supposed to be assembled. And it has some connection information back here on the back. Now this does recommend that you use a SBUS receiver, and I saw it, there it is. Recommended to use the micro SBUS 6-channel receiver connect to the flight controller of SBUS. Okay, so that's good because I have some Naked X4R SB receivers I'm going to be using. Alright, so here's the quad itself, and this looks like it's oh, it's so nice that it comes already put together. Yeah, it comes with 1104 motors, and these are 4,000 kV motors. And they're Tarot branded, of course. Tarot branded. And up here on the top, this is where you're supposed to change the video frequency that the video transmitter transmits on. It looks like this is the video transmitter up here, and the flight board is down here below with built-in oh no, not built-in ESCs, they're right here. So that's kind of cool. And the camera is supposed to be on a tilt, and I think it can turn. Let me see if I can turn this a little bit. Let me see if I can find something to turn it with. So you don't need anything to turn it with. I was wrong. Right here, this is the camera itself, and you can just push it forward, and it angles the camera up there. Angles the camera up about to there, and oh my goodness, if you put it down, you're going to be having a hard time flying because it'll be so slow. It'll feel so slow because you won't be able to see where you're going. So let me try to angle this back up. So you got a pretty decent angle on that, and for as fast as you'll probably fly, this is probably enough. But let me see if I can push a little bit more without breaking it. No, that's about it. So you get about, what's that, about 45-degree angle, 40-degree angle or so. And like I said, this uses these different kinds of props. They don't use the 5mm shafts. They have 2 screws that'll hold the propellers down to each motor, and which is just a little different than the 1306 motors that I've been flying, and also the 2200 and the 1800 series all use the 5mm shafts. Up here on the top it has the battery connector. This is going to connect into a JST connector on your battery, so if you don't have any JSTs, then you will have to either make an adapter or buy some. And then here's the video transmitter, I believe, for the video. So when you get this together and you strap your battery in with these battery straps here, you'll have to make sure this thing is strapped up out of the way so it doesn't get down into the propellers on the quadcopter. It has these little foam pads on here to help it land on these instead of messing up the bottom of your quadcopter. Also included in here is a USB programmer. This also comes with well, there's the screws for the propellers. Here's the little USB adapter you use to program the ESCs that are included with it. Here's a cable. This is probably also for the ESC, I would imagine. I'm not really sure yet. And oh, nice. Battery strap. That's kind of nice and convenient. You don't have to provide your own. You can just use one that came with it. Velcro for your battery to hold it into place. And it has some little round foam things. Those are probably for the motors, I guess, to go under the motors. So, oh no, they're just replacements for these. So if these get messed up, you can replace them. And also came with a few more screws for the motor shafts to hold the propellers on. So here's what it looks like with the propellers installed. And these have the 2 screws inside here to hold the propellers down instead of a single 5mm prop shaft. Also, these ESCs are Tarot ESCs, and they're 6 amp, and they're good up to 3S batteries. So don't run your 4S battery through unless you're just feeling crazy. But here's, I got the caliper here. I'm going to go ahead and measure this bottom plate, which comes out to be about spot on 2 millimeters. And the upper plate comes in about 1.5 millimeters. So this is pretty decent sized plates for this size of quad. I've had 200s that had 2 millimeter arms on them before. Not that I recommend those, but this one here should be fine. There's not a lot of weight to these motors out here, which makes it a little bit more difficult to break in a crash. So here's the quad with the battery strap and the propellers in place, and we'll go ahead and we'll weigh this, and it comes in about 71.3 grams. Now just for comparison's sake, I'll go ahead and I'll weigh my Blade 150. Comes in at 181. Holy mackerel. And the Deformation 130 comes in at 171.7 also. So this little quadcopter is pretty light for what you're getting, 70 grams. So I have the turret fully assembled now, the turret 130, and it has a little cover on the bottom here. I got to get this off of the speaker, and that's hopefully that little speaker works, and it'll tell me when there's a low voltage on the battery. I got this on, and I did test it before I started recording because I didn't want to look like a dummy and have it flip all over. Now, one thing that's kind of cool about this is I just soldered, I cut the little connection off of the little servo connector, and I just soldered it straight onto my naked X4R SB, and I didn't have to do any tuning. I looked at this in Clean Flight, and the board is actually programmed with Clean Flight, and it comes pre-programmed, and it's already pretty sensitive on the sticks, which is nice that it just comes ready to go. So basically you just solder this on and add a battery and you'll be ready to go. These are 453S batteries that I'm going to be using, and they have the JST connector already on it, so they're ready to go. So I'm going to plug this in and try a little line of sight flying. Now on the back, I took the antennas and I ran them up the back like this, so to make like a little V. And usually I like to have these up on the front to help with orientation, but hopefully I can just remember they're back here. And here in a little bit I'm going to try the camera and see if it's working as well.
1 minute.
And this is with no tuning on inside Clean Flight. And here I'm just kind of holding it steady myself. But it gets up and moves pretty well. I'm actually surprised how nice it flies with no tuning involved. I'll take it out here, I'll try to do some flips. Here, I'll flip it over to the right. Oh yeah, it can flip. Back flip, front flip, whoa. So far so good. One thing that's kind of a bummer, I was going to try to fly with these big meaty props because I thought they'd be awesome, but they're hitting the frame and they won't spin past the frame. Well, you can kind of push it past, but I'd have to chop off a little bit of the propeller. Maybe I'll do that later, but right now I mostly just want to fly this thing. This is a pretty good neighborhood flyer. This thing is really small, and it has enough speed that it's going to be fun to fly. And small enough, if you actually hit anybody with this or anything, you're not going to break anything. Listen to the buzzer howl. Anyway, I'm going to try to get some goggles on this. We'll get some FPV footage. Hopefully I have another battery that's charged. One other thing I forgot to mention is if you leave it all in the defaults, by default the auxiliary channel here, your auxiliary 1, will control your auto level. Now if you leave it in the forward position like this, then it's going to be in not auto level. If you pull it back to one of the 2 settings in the back, then it flips it into auto level mode. In the auto level mode, all it does is it helps keep it level, and it also prevents it from going too far forward. It'll only tilt about this far in auto level, and then about maybe 45 degrees or so, and it won't actually flip over and roll. So if you're just starting to learn, this is actually pretty nice. It's nice that it comes tuned, and it's nice that it comes with the auto level. We'll do a little bit of flying with it so you can see it. So here it is flying with the auto level on, and I'm gonna get up here close, and then I'm gonna try to dip it away from us. I'm gonna give it full stick forward. That's full stick forward. And this is full stick backward.
2 minutes.
So you can see how it won't flip over on us. If you push it all the way left, all the way right, all the way left. There I'm going right, left, right, left. Whoa, I'm getting too far away. But the point is, the auto level is preventing it from rolling over too far one way or the other. So if you're just learning how to fly one, this actually is pretty nice because it comes all tuned to do this, assuming you have an SBUS transmitter and receiver. Got my Fast Shark goggles ready. Got the quadcopter ready. Now I did have a little problem with this where I wasn't picking up any signal from my goggles when I was testing it. Well, come to find out, there's the little connections. They're right in here behind the camera, and they plug into the board. That's where your video transmitter plugs in. So if you're not getting any picture, check and make sure those connections are okay. They just came out a little loose. I pushed them back in. They were fine. Anyway, it's ready to go. I'm gonna give this a little test flight, and we'll see how it goes.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are here.
So that wasn't too bad at FPV flying. The camera's a little bit wider than what I'm used to flying, but after a few seconds, you know, or 30 seconds or so, it got to be okay, and I could kind of figure out where I was going. And as long as I just put the middle of the camera where I want to go, you know, the middle of what I'm seeing where I want to go, then it's not so bad to try to line up perfectly and get through those things. I was able to get through a little tight spot on the tree, through a little V that I've never flown through before, but with this I thought, what the heck, it's small enough, hopefully I don't hit anything. I was also able to do a couple of flips. A couple observations about this. The video transmitter in here, it has that huge heat sink on it. It's that gray thing right there above my finger. The heat sink will get pretty hot, but if you're flying around and it's moving, you got enough wind going by it, it shouldn't get too hot. I wouldn't recommend plugging it in and letting it sit there. That might be a little bad for it. Overall though, I really like this quadcopter. The antennas on the back kind of messes with my head because, like I said before, I'm kind of used to them being in the front. But anyway, this is a Tarot 130. It came from GearBest. If you have any questions about this, leave them in the comments. I'll try to help you out as best I can. And I do have a couple more ready to fly quads coming soon because I'm getting kind of tired of building them. So anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to help you out as best I can. As always, thanks for watching.